quickly on the trade deadline, Joel. The Yankees, how many pitchers are we getting here? How many relievers are the Yankees going to be trying to target here before the deadline?
Well, I think they're going to try in this week, and that would mean two relievers and one starter minimum, where one of the relievers is left-handed. That's what you want. Does the market do it? Look, I think there's going to be secondary starters available who might not cost a lot. And I'm going to say some names, and you're going to make a face, but the question is, does it give you some depth
Hmm.
to get through the season and allow Schlittler to go back to AAA for if you have something else happen, a warrant to go to AAA? Like Dustin May is going to be available from the Dodgers. Like he's got a 4.85 ERA. He's kind of a 5 inning pitcher now, but like, could he keep the Yankees in it for 15 to 18 outs? Nestor Cortez is available from Milwaukee. The Yankees have done this. There were times where Nestor Cortez was their best starter. He probably isn't going to cost a lot in this marketplace because he might be a release player if they get to August 1st and they don't trade him. So, like, would he be able to give the Yankees 15 to 18 outs regularly and 3 or 4 runs and hand the ball off with a chance to win? And again, being the key thing, they just create some depth and they put their better prospects towards getting another relief pitcher or two, understanding that their starting pitching is going to be a 15-out starting group. And so they need some, they'll hope that Fernando Cruz comes back well and Mark Leiter Jr. comes back well, and maybe they'll throw Schlittler into the bullpen to use the big arm late in the year and just try to play tournament baseball
Yeah.
on every day where Fried and maybe Rodon aren't starting, to try to play that way. So I think if I I'm not sure they're going to get like is the upside Charlie Morton. It's also possible that the best starters traded between now and Thursday are Charlie Morton, Zach Gallen, who has the second worst ERA in the sport, Sandy Alcantara, who has the worst ERA in the sport, Edward Cabrera, who's hurt all the time, Merrill Kelly, who's good. Like, I would try to get Merrill Kelly. I actually think Merrill Kelly's good, but like Dylan Cease, who, if you watched the Met game last night, he said, I'm having a good year. Like, he's up with a pretty high 4 ERA. Like, that's who's available.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Joe Ryan's being traded, and if Joe Ryan's being traded, the idea that Spencer Jones and Schlittler wouldn't be in that trade is probably ridiculous. Maybe George Lombard would have to be in that trade. It's Joe Ryan. He's a high. I mean, you make a face. Like, here's the thing is, I'll end this on this because I got to go do some television here. Okay. The Yankees have been very protective of their farm system, especially over the last 15 or 20 years. Here's the reality. If they traded every member of their farm system except for Aaron Judge over the last 15 years, it would have been okay. Luis Severino almost won 2 Cy Young Awards out of their system. If they traded him, it would have been okay, right? Gary Sanchez made 2 or 3 All-Star games. If they would have traded him, it would have been okay. Gleyber Torres made like 2 All-Star games. If they would have traded him, it would have been okay. You want the next level? Greg Bird, Clint Frazier, Miguel Andujar, Davy Garcia, etc. As long as they didn't trade Aaron Judge and they traded everybody else, they would have been okay. And the other thing is, they probably would have been okay if they traded Aaron Judge. The Mets traded Pete Crow Armstrong. They might win the World Series this year, right? The Dodgers traded Yordan Alvarez and O'Neill Cruz for nothing. They've won 2 World Series since then. You know what good team? You know how many World Series Aaron Judge has won? None. Like, you could win without him. I'm not saying they should have. Now, you're making a face like, obviously they shouldn't have traded him. I'm pointing out that everything is survivable.
I got you.
And more important, as long as they didn't trade him, every guy who I heard at the time, oh, you can't trade that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's always people who've never seen that guy play is telling me you can't trade that guy. Like, I don't know, like Spencer Jones's upside is probably Adam Dunn with defense.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a well above average player who probably plays in 2.5 to 3.5 All-Star games if we're playing some FanDuel stuff, right? But there's also a chance he's Russell Brandon. There's also a chance he's Joey Gallo.
Yeesh.
So when people like watch this Homer thing and say you can't trade him, like, maybe not. Maybe you can't trade him. But maybe you can. Maybe you could trade George Lombard. Maybe you could trade Schlitter. I mean, the question is this Yankee team worthwhile to trade the best of your thing? But there were years where people yelled at me and said, oh, you can't trade that guy. And I'm like, you could have traded every guy who's not Judge and been okay. By the way, again, Pete Crow Armstrong might win the National League MVP. He's going to finish in the top 5. The Mets might win the World Series without him.
They got to beat the
one,
Cubs, though, with Crow Armstrong,
yeah,
though. They do.
well,
They do.
we'll see what happens over time. But like again, Yordan Alvarez has been in MVP contention.
Yeah.
The Dodgers got Josh Fields for him. Right? Like that's an actual thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Hader is an Astro now. They traded him away for nothing, and they won World Series without him. Like I just this the building up of prospect value has been crazy over the last 15 or 20 years. Everyone's looking for inefficiency. That's the inefficiency. Guys like AJ Preller, Alex Anthopoulos, Dave Dombrowski, who are willing to trade their prospects and go for it, have much better outcomes to me than the guys who over hoard it. Like figure out the one guy in your system you won't trade and everyone else is available.
Amen.
Figure out the 2 guys in your system. Because here's the thing about the Mets and the Yankees also, and I think this is particularly true about the Mets now under Steve Cohen. Whoever they like a minor league phenom for the Brewers, the Royals, the Rays, etc. They have to come to the major leagues and be average and more likely above average for $800,000
100%.
so that the team could function. The Mets and the Yankees can trade a prospect, and let's say it's George Lombard.
Yeah.
How about this? Let's say it's Spencer Jones.
Right.
The Yankees could sign Kyle Tucker in the offseason.
100%. 100%.
Right?
Joel.
Like the Brewers can't do that.
I know. I got you.
The Royals can't do that. Like the Yankees and the Mets, the Dodgers, the Cubs, a few teams can paper over it.
Yes.
And the strength is like the idea of the prospect is to either make you great with him or make you great by moving him. And there's a few teams in the sport that can paper it over with money. And to keep the prospect, again, like sometimes you get burned. Like if the Yankees had this philosophy and said, we're going for it and we're trading Derek Jeter or Mariano Rivera or Andy Pettitte or Jorge Posada or Bernie Williams, there's no dynasty. There is danger, I understand. But like the risk reward thing, the risk is overinflated in our era. The risk is overinflated. Major League Baseball is very, very difficult. And it's very hard to be good at it. Earlier, at this time, a little earlier last year, at this network, somebody at the network did at a time where the Tigers looked like they were going to be sellers. Well, they were sellers in the deadline. But like Tarek Skubal's a Scott Boras client. He's pitching great. He has an injury history. It felt like, should they maximize him right now? And somebody at the network made a fake trade to the Orioles, where the Orioles gave up a boatload of prospects. And then they turned to me and said, what do you think? And I said, well, I'm hanging up the phone unless Jackson Holliday's in the trade. And the person went, well, you can't put Jackson Holliday in the trade. And I said, well, then I can't put Tarek Skubal in the trade. I go, Jackson Holliday is just a famous name of a famous father right now. Like maybe he'll be a great player. You know what I know Tarek Skubal is? If I put him with Corbin Burns?
Yeah.
With Corbin Burns, I might get a parade. The last time we got a parade in Baltimore was 1983.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm going for the parade. And now Jackson Holliday looks like he's going to be a good player. Is he going to be a great player? The kind of player like 12 months ago you said you wouldn't trade for Tarek Skubal, who might be the best player on the planet? Like right now, Spencer Jones is hitting a homer every 12 minutes. I get it. And he might be Judge. And so therefore, if you trade him, you might have regret. But the Dodgers don't have any regret. You think he's going to be a better player than Yordan Alvarez?
Spencer Jones? No.
Yeah. Who the Dodgers traded for Josh Fields?
Yeah.
And won 2 World Series since they did it? Again, like if you're a good organization, you'll overcome anything. And if you're a good organization, you shouldn't overvalue your prospects. What's to be cherished is trying to win in the major leagues.
Joel Sherman, well said. Looking forward to your coverage through the next 72 hours here at the MLB trade deadline. Go watch it on MLB Network. Go watch the show on the New York Post Sports YouTube channel. Joel, you're the man. We look forward to talking to you next time, man.
Okay. All the best, Ryan.